Hi everyone! So my recipe is the Gentle Lavender Honey Scrub. It's a facial scrub, and for this recipe you're going to need a bowl to mix it in and 4 to 5 tablespoons of coconut oil, which mine's all melty, so it's going to make it pretty easy to get out. And then 1/3 of a cup of super fine granulated sugar, and then honey and Young Living lavender essential oil, and a little 4-ounce jar. So first you're going to put 1/3 of a cup of sugar into your bowl. Put in there, 1/3 of a cup of sugar. Okay. Sugar in, and then 1 tablespoon of honey. Open. Okay, 1 tablespoon of honey. Okay, and then 4 to 5 tablespoons of coconut oil. One, 2, 3. We'll do 4 because most of those were overflowing a little bit. Alright, get everything out of there. And then you do 10 drops of lavender oil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So now we have all of our ingredients, and just mix them together. We're mixing pretty well already. Just gotta make sure the sugar gets into all of the different parts. Now, I think that this could use a touch more coconut oil. So I'm just gonna do that. Alright. Get that all mixed up. So I would say that that was about 6 tablespoons, really, of the coconut oil. Right, we're all mixed up. Got our cute little jar here. A funnel would probably be really helpful for this project, but I don't have a funnel. Okay, gently lose it a little bit. Alright, I'm going to scoop it. Alright. Get some more of that sugar in there. Get the last little bit.
Mommy, what are you making?
Alright, mostly making a mess. Alright, last little drop in there. And then we'll stick the lid on. This would work a little better if your coconut oil isn't quite as liquidy as mine is. So what I'm going to do is mix mine up really well and then store it in a cool place so that the oil can get a little bit harder. And then when I'm ready to use it, I'll probably mix it a little more and it'll be all set. And that is your Gentle Lavender Honey Face Scrub.
Hi, tonight we are going to be making do-it-yourself homemade chapsticks and or lip balms. It's really easy to do. It only takes 3 ingredients, and we have 2 tablespoons of shea butter, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and the essential oil of your choice, and I'm going to be using peppermint this time. You'll need your chapstick containers, and I've gotten tubes. You can also use the little jars or tins, and I actually have these set up in an egg crate to hold them still so I don't spill them when I'm pouring. And then you'll need a container to melt your ingredients in. And you'll also need beeswax pellets, and you'll do 2 tablespoons of those also. So it's equal parts of beeswax, shea butter, and coconut oil. And it's really easy to do. All you do is you mix your ingredients in a microwavable safe container, or you can do it on a double boiler. I get all of my ingredients off of Amazon. You can find them in health food stores or places like Whole Foods or Trader Joe's sometimes. Coconut oil is actually really easy to find. You can find it usually just at any grocery store. But the beeswax and the shea butter I had to get on Amazon. And I also got the tubes on Amazon. So just combine everything in your container except your essential oil. We're not going to be heating that. And then you just pop it in the microwave for 30-second intervals, stirring between each one. And I'm just going to use a straw to do that so I don't dirty up one of my spoons and I can just throw it away. And you'll notice that the beeswax pellets will take the longest to melt. It takes usually, I think the last time it took me about 5 30-second cycles to get everything completely melted, but it will melt. So just keep stirring and microwaving and stirring and microwaving until everything's melted together. Okay, so as predicted, that took 5 cycles at 30 seconds. It's finishing up the last cycle now. And like I said, the beeswax is always the last thing to melt. So just keep stirring and it'll melt. And then as soon as you get it out of the microwave, that's when we'll add the oils. Now, if you wanted to tint your lip balm, you could do that now. Some people I've heard use Kool-Aid. I've never tried that. You could also just get like some lipstick and shave some off in it. But I'm happy with mine, just its natural color. And you can use anywhere from 10 to 20 drops of oil. I'm probably going to use about 15 on this. And you just drop it in there. My dog has joined me in here because it smells so good. She thinks I'm making her something to eat. Give that one good last stir. And then all you have to do is pour it in your tubes or containers. And that's why it's really helpful to have something with a spout. You could also use a funnel or even some kind of pipette. But this works pretty good. And you can fill them all the way up to the top because as they cool, they'll actually shrink down a little bit. And then you could top them off if you needed to. Spill a little bit, but that's okay. Once it dries, it'll peel right off. And this should make, I'm guessing, about a dozen of these chapstick tubes. And then once we're done, we'll let them cool. Put the cap on them. You could put a cute little label or sticker on them or some decorative tape. And I plan on using these as teacher gifts because it's Teacher Appreciation Month. So my children's teachers will be receiving some of these lip balms, probably along with some of the other DIY things we're going to be doing in this video. That made, I think I had 17 in here because one of my holes was messed up. And I just have a tad bit left, so I'll finish topping off a few more, and that's it. Easy peasy.
Hi, I'm Danielle, and I'm going to make an all-natural teeth whitener using 3 simple ingredients that can be found at your local Whole Foods or other health food store that you shop at. So first, you are going to use an aluminum-free baking soda. This does not say aluminum-free on the box, but it is indeed aluminum-free. Use 1 teaspoon of that, and that is for to whiten your teeth and freshen your breath. The 3% food grade hydrogen peroxide, which I also found at Whole Foods. This is to fight bacteria and whiten your teeth. And use 1 teaspoon of each of those. And then you add your peppermint oil. And you can use 1 to 2 drops of this. I use 2 drops in mine. I love the peppermint taste, so. Then it will come into this paste, and it's kind of watery. It's just kind of pasty from the baking soda. Then you put it on your toothbrush, and you brush for 2 minutes, just like you would with your regular toothpaste. You do this before you brush with your regular toothpaste, and it will make your teeth whiter. I haven't used it enough to actually find the outcome yet, but I am working on it, and hopefully I will have white teeth just like you.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make a face toner you'll love. There's only a few base ingredients, and then you'll add whatever essential oil it is that you need for your skin type or skin condition. You'll use apple cider vinegar to balance the pH on your skin. You'll use either filtered water or rose water. I like rose water because it smells really nice and it leaves your skin nice and soft. And then if you have oily skin or acne prone skin, you'll also want to use some witch hazel. I'm using equal parts of 3 because I live in a tropical climate and I have the occasional blemish, so I'll have some witch hazel in there. I already mixed it up because this is not my first take. So what I did was 3 ounces of each. And I'm going to put it into my pump bottle. The great thing is that there's so many options to make a great toner in the Premium Starter Kit in the Everyday Oils collection. Everyone wants to use lavender in their toner. It's just the universal great skincare oil. It's really good for inflammation and evening your skin tone. I'm using LME, which does not come in the kit, but it's great for fine lines and wrinkles. A friend of mine did a 30-day challenge, and because of the results of that challenge, I'm putting LME into my toner. And then frankincense is a beauty oil. It's absolutely amazing. Frankincense has so many other uses besides beauty, but it's just incredible. It fades sun damage and age spots. It's absolutely incredible. So those are the 3 oils that I've put into my toner. There's so many combinations that you can use if you have acne prone skin or oily skin or even dry skin, or if you suffer from any skin conditions where you might have flaky skin. I will give you some suggestions on combinations there, and it's not a science to the mixing of these. You can really mix it up to whatever you want for your skin. So just have fun. Let me know what combinations you come up with, and happy dropping.
Hi everyone, I'm Newton Matthew. Thank you so much for joining us for our Beauty Make and Take class tonight. I've been using Young Living oils for the better part of 1.5 years, and the very first recipe I made using my Premium Starter Kit oils was a night cream, and to this day I still use it every night, and I'd like to teach you how to make it. I hope you like it as much as I do. So first we're going to talk about the things that we need to make this recipe. You are going to need a good quality, organic, cold pressed, unrefined coconut oil. You're going to want to use it from a solid state. Doesn't matter what brand you use, just a coconut oil that is in a solid state. As you get used to playing with recipes, you might find that there's a different base that you like better, but I'm just going to tell you what I like and you can modify from there. So I use coconut oil, and then I add a drop of jojoba oil. I will explain why I do that later, but you're just going to need a drop of it, and it's not a must. It's just something that I like to use. You're also going to need your lavender, which comes in your premium starter kit. You're going to need lemon, which also comes in your premium starter kit, and you're going to need frankincense, which again comes in your premium starter kit. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to take a half a cup of coconut oil. I've done it so many times that I have already pulled it out with a spoon. You can measure it out, you can eyeball it, you can do whatever you like. And you're gonna have it again in a solid state. If you are doing a bigger batch, you can use a mixer, but I always do a small batch whenever I'm making this for myself or my family members. So I just use a fork. For 8 to 12 minutes, you're gonna wanna beat the solid coconut oil with your fork or your beater. My magic number is 9 minutes. I'm not gonna make you watch me get my arm workout for the next 9 minutes while I beat this coconut oil. But I didn't know this until I started using essential oils, that if you whip coconut oil from its solid state, it becomes a lotion type tendency. It's the coolest thing. The first time I did it, I just wanted to keep doing it, so I did, and I had a lot of whipped coconut oil lying around. Anyway, so you're gonna take your solid coconut oil, a half a cup, and you're gonna put it in a bowl, and you're gonna beat, 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 beat. And then, because we are nothing if not professional, I have a whipped bowl right here. This is my half cup of whipped coconut oil after I've whipped it for about 10 minutes. It's a really nice tendency. I don't know if you can see it, but it's consistency. I'm sorry, I keep saying tendency. Anyway, and it blends right in like a lotion. So the first thing that you're gonna add is your lavender. I use 10 drops of lavender in my night cream. Lavender is a really great redness reducer. It reduces inflammation of any kind, which is why it works on burns and things like that. I get very red, especially in the winter months, on my cheeks, on my nose, and it just, you know, a lot of people get redness for all different reasons, and it really just helps to even that out. Not to mention that since we are using this cream at night, maybe lots of you already use lavender for sleep. It's really soothing and I think really relaxing. And so since it does have sleep benefits, I feel like it's a great thing to add to a night cream anyway, and help you sleep a sounder, more relaxed sleep. So again, 10 drops of lavender. The next oil you're gonna add is lemon. Lemon is a photosensitive oil, which means you want to limit your sun exposure if you have it directly on your skin. That is another reason why I use this cream only at night. I am not exposed to sun overnight, and this way I get the great benefits of lemon essential oil on my skin without putting myself in danger. So I do 8 drops of lemon on top of the 10 drops of lavender in the half cup of coconut oil. Lemon is used because it's a really great skin brightener. When you think of lemons, you think of sunshine, and I really feel like it does that to your skin. It just brightens everything up and evens everything out. I believe it's used sometimes for, you know, discoloration. It makes sense to me because I definitely see a brightening effect from it. And then the last oil that you're gonna add is frankincense, which is also in your kit. It is liquid gold in a bottle. Other people will say that other oils are liquid gold in a bottle. For me, frankincense is liquid gold in a bottle. I save it only for my night cream and also for another recipe that I make. I only use it for those 2 things, never anything else, because I'm so afraid of running out of it ever. I love this stuff. So I sometimes will do 6 drops, depending on if I'm, you know, running really low, or I will sometimes up it to 8 drops. It doesn't hurt. There's no exact science to this. So sometimes I'll do 10, 8, 8, 10, 8, 6. Whatever you do, even if you're just putting a drop on your skin, you're gonna get a benefit from these. So frankincense is used for my purposes as a wrinkle fighter. I believe that it really does reduce the look of fine lines on my face. It's an amazing oil. It leaves me speechless. I mean, I really feel like there's so many benefits to it for your skin that I can't list them all because I feel like I wouldn't do it justice. But so for that reason, we're gonna say that it's the wrinkle fighter out of this trio, but it does a lot more things, and it's just wonderful. So 10 drops lavender, 8 drops lemon, 6 to 8 drops of frankincense, half a cup of coconut oil. Mix it all up, and then in the colder months, the coconut oil can solidify and then liquefy and solidify and liquefy. I find that putting 1 drop of jojoba oil into my night cream really helps to keep it lotiony. So just 1 drop on the top. It's not the most important thing. If you don't want to add it, you really don't have to. But for me, it's what keeps my night cream creamy. So you're gonna add just 1 drop of that on the top, mix it all up, and then you're gonna put your cream into a pretty little jar or a baby food jar or any kind of jar that you want. And then you're just gonna apply it to your face every night after you cleanse as you normally would, and hopefully you sleep well because of the lavender, and also because of the knowledge of knowing that you're not putting any harsh chemicals on your skin. I really hope that you love this night cream as much as I do, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the class. Thanks!